We're now going to see how we can make use of Azure portal for creation of an SQL database, and then very importantly how we can connect to this SQL database from SQL Management Studio and a simple console based application from Visual Studio. So let's first log on to portal. From the option here, more services, we have to first create a SQL server. Remember, the SQL server which we create here is actually a logical group of SQL server. So just type here SQL server, and maybe because we are going to use it more frequently, you might probably bookmark it. And I've done that here. SQL servers. This SQL server is a logical server. Mind you, this is a logical server. I already have one. I want to create one more now. Give here the server name. I'm calling it as DSS demo server. Very important, all this name has to be in lowercase. Any uppercase character is not allowed. And it's supposed to be universally unique. Nobody else in this world should have been using this server in Azure. That's why I preceded my company name before the short name, before the actual name. Admin, I'll give it as DSS admin. My password, my preferred choice is U uppercase user @123. Of course, this meets our password requirement. One uppercase character, one lowercase character, one alphabet, one digit, and one symbol. All are there in that. So user @123. That's how I give. Your proper subscription. If you are using free trial, use that. Create a new resource group. I want to now create a new resource group, demo RG, and specify the location where you want to do it. Click on create. The resource group is going to be first created in the specified location, and under that resource group we are going to have a SQL server created. Of course, it's going to take little time. I pause the video for a while. As it is creating, you can see in the notification window whatever is the progress here. See, now it is completed. Now once it is completed, you can go to SQL server, refresh it, and you'll have it here. Click on DSS demo server, and over here what is very important is right now no databases are there. Now what is very important here is a firewall setting. By default, SQL server is not going to allow you to connect from outside Azure applications because of this firewall. So in case you want to allow, you have to apply the setting over here. So I'll keep it pending. I'll not apply now. We have just created a SQL server and I'll leave it with default configuration. We are going to see a lot of options like what is a pool, how to import database, how to export, how to delete, and how to restore once deleted. All that we are going to cover in administration features to be discussed later. Now once the database server is created, we have to create a database. So SQL database, again you can bookmark it. Right now two are there in that old server. I want to create a new one. I'll call it as something like demo DB. Within that server, it is supposed to be unique name. Same resource group, I'll use existing resource group. You have the choice of either creating a blank database, or you can use a sample which can be adventure work database, or you can use backup where it will be asking you to restore an existing database. Now, we are not interested in restoring it. We just want to have a blank database right now. What is the server? Automatically the server we just created is here. Do you want to have elastic pool, SQL Elastic pool. Right now we don't need to have. Maybe when we need it, we will upgrade it. And what is Elastic pool? We have to understand that also. Very important, the pricing tier. We have the choice of choosing either premium or standard or basic. For demo purpose, maybe the standard is sufficient. And based on the pricing tier only, we are going to have the DTUs provided. Now, this DTU is a measure of the performance of your database, directly proportionate. So, 5 DTU is going to give us very basic support, whereas 100 DTU is better than 5, and obviously, best is we are going to get in 500 DTUs. And of course, as you can see, the price is proportionately increasing. The prices listed here are in rupees, INR, Indian rupees. That is because my configuration, my location in SQL Azure is configured as India. The prices shown here are in rupees. But if you are configured in US, your address is configured in US, the prices listed will be in dollars. So for demo purpose, you can use any one of them. Maybe the basic standard is good enough. Create. I just connected from studio to my account. Okay, successfully database is created. So let us now refresh it here and we'll have the demo DB. Go to demo DB and here we have the connection string. Click. We have the choice of using ADO.NET connection string, ODBC, PHP, JDBC. Based on the type of client we are writing, we can make use of that connection string. So we want to use, let us say, ADO.NET connection string. Copy this and paste it in Notepad. You see here server name is DSS demo server, that is our logical server .database.windows.net. Unfortunately, it is having default port number 1433 only. Initial catalog, that is the database name DemoDB. User ID is not listed here. We have to actually provide one. What is the user ID we gave? DSS admin. And the password user @123. That's what I have given. Multiple active result sets is supposed to be used by the developer. We don't need it. We can just remove it. Encrypt to trusted certificate connection timeout. All these things we can actually delete. We don't need all this. We're happy with the default values of those. So yes, we have got server name, we have got database name, we have got username, and we have got password. We actually don't even need this persist security info and keep it like this. Very basic connection string. Server name, database name, username, password. Now, this server name I will give, copy this, in Management Studio. Then username, change this to SQL Server Authentication. You have to give here username, DSS admin. Maybe if required, you can add @DSS demo server and then the password user @123. And you can say remember, so that next time when you come, it will be always there. It is giving error. Now, why this error? Cannot open SQL Server by the requested login. The reason is the client IP address is not allowed to access the server. As I said, we have to go to the configuration of the server now. As I showed you earlier, I'll open this in new tab, SQL Server. We can do here, or we can do it from the database also. Set server firewall. Either go to server and choose the settings, show firewall settings, or from the database set server firewall. Both are same. And here we have a very good option, add client IP. Automatically the IP will be added. So starting from this IP to this IP, all the IP addresses will be able to connect. If needed, actually we can give like this. So all the IP addresses in my region are covered through my service provider. Because every time I log in, I may get a different IP. So like that, all the IP addresses, all the client machines with different IP addresses, we want to allow access to the SQL server. We will have to configure that here. Allow access to SQL service. Save. This is important. And that will get added to the list. Now come back and click on connect once again, and you'll see that this time we are happily connected. Expand, you'll see we also have the database. Of course, no tables, no views, nothing, all empty. Now what's next? I want to now connect from a Visual Studio application. Go to File, New Project. I'll take a simple console based application. Let's give here the name of the application, DemoDB app. Folder, I'll choose something like D colon Azure demos slash database demos. I've already created that folder. So in that, we would like to create a folder by name DemoDB app. Click on OK. What is important is this connection string is what we will have to give in the configuration file. So first step is that to go to app.config, let us add here connection strings, paste it here. Maybe if you want, you can give provider. So we have a connection string by name demo.ds. We'll have to add the reference to system.configuration for reading that. And now going to main, we'll write program for connecting to database. So SQL connection using system.data.sql client. Connection string is equal to system.configuration manager dot connection strings of demo cs dot connection string connection dot open, and will also close it. If this program executes successfully, we are able to successfully establish connection with the database. That's it. No error. Maybe if you want, you can write a message. But if something is wrong here, let's say username is wrong, we run this and we should get an error. Login failed for the user so and so. So it is so simple. Once we have used SQL connection for establishing connection, over here we can write any kind of SQL. We can write of ADO.NET code for executing any kind of SQL statement. ADO.NET code for any kind of SQL statement we can write over here, and that we are going to show in subsequent chapters. So once again, so what is the first step? We created a SQL server, a logical server actually. It's not a physical server. In Azure, a logical server is created for us, and under that server, we can have any number of databases. So we have the choice of for every customer creating a separate logical server, or maybe in a single logical server having multiple databases. Right now we have only one. Firewall setting we have to take care of, very important. And then we went to database, and through database we got the connection string, and we could use that connection string with modified username and password in Visual Studio as well as in Management Studio for connecting to that database. That's all in this. Thank you.